This video goes through the template analysis, which is a widely used data analysis method. Whether you are a PhD student, a master's student, or a researcher, or someone who is doing data analysis and came across this method, this video will give you an introduction, a very simplified one about the method, and I will be doing other videos to go through the analysis method in details and how to use it, its advantages, philosophical issues, and the process. The two key references that you need to read and get familiar with are two by King and Brooks. One was published in 2017. It's their book, which is called Template Analysis for Business and Management Students. And the other one is also by them, and it's a book chapter called Thematic Analysis in Organizational Research, published in 2018 in a Sage Handbook. So some background, this method seems to be associated with Nigel King and Joanna Brooks, the most, given the references to them that I've noticed, especially under their book and the book chapter that I just referenced, which I included in the first slides of this video. Both those authors seem to trace its origins from a book by Crabtree and Miller, published in 1992, called Doing Qualitative Research. And in this book, the style at the time was described as the template style, which Nigel King, one of the authors, seems to have taken and then built on since then. Although the method and authors seem to be associated with organizational research, it is used extensively by others and for different purposes, especially research in real-life settings. So you'll see from the two resources that I've referenced that, and their work, King and Brooks' work, that the method is very much associated with organizational research, business, and management, but it has been applied in so many different areas, including my own research as well, which is related to public health. So the method itself sits as part of a group of generic thematic analysis styles, or a family, with a purpose of identifying, organizing, and interpreting themes and texts. The authors identified three features that distinguishes thematic analysis as a whole under pages 5 to 7 of their book from 2017, and I'll go through these in detail in the next slide. So the three features that distinguishes template analysis as a thematic analysis technique as a whole versus other types is that, first of all, there are differences when it comes to methodology versus the generic approach of the style. So what do I mean by that? So template analysis is considered a generic thematic analysis method rather than part of an already defined methodology, such as, say, grounded theory, interpretive phenomenological analysis, or IPA, where template analysis is considered a where methodology is driven by a predefined philosophy, if you like. Whereas generic thematic analysis methods like template analysis are not confined with a certain philosophy. What that means is ontology and epistemology. Other similar generic methods are, to give you an idea, are framework analysis, which I discussed in another video, matrix analysis, analytic induction, and many others. Reflexive thematic analysis is another technique, and so on. This makes it unjustifiable to collect data and then change one's methodology to, say, IPA or grounded theory. as there is a need to buy in, if you like, into the methodology from the start and throughout, as it dictates aspects related to sampling, collected data, presentation of findings and conclusion, and not just the analysis itself. So it is considered a generic approach or a method rather than a methodology, which are two different things. So you need to get your head around the differences between both, because in methodology, that needs a buy-in into the philosophy all the way to how you conduct your methods and your data analysis. Whereas with the generic approach, which template analysis, reflexive analysis, framework analysis, and other methods come under, it's different. They don't tend to have a buy-in or a specific methodology that they come under. The second feature that makes this method part of thematic analysis family is that because of is related to the induction-deduction reasoning. So template analysis does not have a single fixed position on inductive and deductive balance. It is usually neither at the most strongly inductive nor most strongly deductive ends. Hence, it tends to occupy the mid-range of this continuum. And then the third reason, and the final reason, is because of how the coding structure of data is built. So I'll explain that in more detail. So template analysis is considered flexible in the sequence by which coding structure or the template is built up. It also welcomes, and it welcomes greater depths of coding compared to other thematic approaches where data are rich. The approach also can accommodate 4 or more levels of data or themes to emphasize fine distinctions within main themes or thematic outputs. So hopefully this video gave you a very quick but juicy, if you like, introduction about template analysis technique and the resources that you need to worry about, its background, who are the main authors, why is it considered a thematic analysis style, and as part of the thematic analysis family.